Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So it's time to start thinking about Christmas trees. Every year, I do at least one, it seems, if not 20. And I do kind of try to figure out a theme of what I want them to look like, and then I do lots of different colors or different things. And that doesn't always happen, but like I said, I think it's mostly like one to 20. So today was another good day for Owen. I am not feeling my best, so excuse me as I hem and haw here. I just keep reminding myself I don't have to go to another treatment. If I'm doing my math right, Tuesday would have if I was still on my treatment regimen, Tuesday would be my next one. And so as bad as I'm feeling tonight, I keep reminding myself that I'm done. I'm just healing, and I have to get through these moments. But I'm done. I'm done. So that's helping me a lot, kind of in my hem and haws. But I thought I was done, but I think I want to add just a little tiny bit more. Just to go up a little more, I'm going to put a star up here, and then I'm going to put dots of color everywhere, I think. We shall see. And it's funny, I always go to do a star, and it's like when you do a star, like, I don't know, they always say like different people will like start in different directions to do their stars. Well, the thing about it is, I'm filling it in, but I still have to draw it like it's like a 5-point, like I have to paint it like I draw it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But then I still have to go back in here and figure out the angles and make it even bigger. So it's always kind of funny to me how my brain processes shapes. I always say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because when I look in a room, I see color first, and then colors turn into numbers, and numbers turn into letters. And so I process color first. And if I see pink, then I look for the entire room to connect with pink. So it's just kind of one of those things that I just keep processing through. So, and this probably wasn't the board that I wanted to do this on. I had another whole plan for this. When we painted the other night, we did 3 at a time, and I had the brown, and then we had a green one and a gold one. And so there's green and there's gold on this that we used the brush, and just once the brown was done, the gold and brown, it's kind of like I a lot of times do my flowers the same way. use the same paintbrush. I use the thicker brush, and so like there would be paint on this side and this side from just, continuously painting. So these marks are these big, it's a bigger paintbrush that we use. But that's what these stripes down are from the paintbrush that we use to do that. So now I'm just doing dots everywhere, and this will take the longest of all the things, but so Owen is very much looking forward to his Friday so that he can go to school and then come home and be ready for his Saturday so that he can go see his grandma. And I absolutely love how much he loves his grandma and how they are connected and everything. They've got such an incredibly special bond. So it makes me happy. I was always close to my grandmothers. I was fortunate to have 2 great grandmothers for many years. So it was wonderful. I talked about this a couple times. My hair is getting so tall that where my camera sits now, when I lean at all, it hits the camera, and I'm sure there's been hair sightings. But usually on Friday nights he wants to stay home. He does not want to go anywhere, and he's had a pretty busy week. And he was at the dentist yesterday, and thankfully he did really well with that. He had a spot on his tooth. He chews on everything, and trying to get him to stop doing it is very difficult. And his dentist said that, which was very good insight on her part. She always wonders why some of her kiddos do, what they do, and so does the parents, But with him, he, if the answer to something is yes, so many times he will actually say no, knowing that the answer is yes. He likes a lot of times, apps and different devices will, if you answer incorrectly, it gives you a noise. And 9 times out of 10, that noise is more exciting to him than getting the answer correct. So he will say something incorrectly just so he can get the feedback of that noise or that negative part. And so that made total sense with what he does with the biting and so many other things as well, because he wants to see the emotions, and since he's still kind of learning how to deal with emotions, how to process emotions, how to have his emotions, that's all something that is a lot for him. And so it's interesting, it's such an interesting process, and to have him going through a lot of this, and again trying to figure out how to help him. And the thing is, I don't want to change his voice. I don't want him to be different than Owen. I want him to still be the amazing, funny little dude that just likes what he likes, but he also needs to understand that as much as he wants to have his feelings, his emotions, his things, that others are allowed to have those same things. And that's part of where it's hard. And with his teeth, he's not understanding that biting on things is hard on his teeth. And I do not have good teeth at all between my thyroid and cancer and life. Just I've not had strong teeth all my life, and so I just have a lot of genetics and all my conditions, and so I want to give him the best opportunity on all of it that I possibly can. And so him biting on hard things is hard. I mean, that's just hard. So she, the dentist, she had good insight on that since he is, someone that likes that feedback on things that are backwards or opposite or like this, he knows that he's not supposed to do it. So that feedback of please don't do that anymore is as much of a reward as, anything else. And so it's learning to fight my inner instinct of correcting him or, redirecting him or in those moments, it's hard to know, I'm just a mama that loves my boy, and I wasn't trained to figure out all of life's mysteries, but yet I feel like I need to know all of life's mysteries because chewing on stuff like that is just, and he does it so quickly. I mean, 1 minute he's playing and the next minute he's grabbing something and putting it in his mouth, and like he'll chew on his tablet and he'll chew on the door and he chews on the couch and he chews on the table, just any and everything. And generally it's little things that he can get too quickly. But still, I mean, it's, it's a lot. And it's hard knowing that I can't help, control, stop, whatever words you want to use to get him to do something different than something that he doesn't even realize is potentially going to be very hard for him. So that's, it's emotional. And again, like I said, I don't want to, there's a difference between telling him that he can't do something he loves versus trying to get him to understand that wrong answers are not helping him. And wrong answer being chewing on thing, wrong answer saying yes instead of no. Because if somebody asks him, do you want something to drink? And he says no, but he means yes, then he doesn't get the drink. Well, he needs a drink. He needs food. He needs this or that or whatever. When it comes to, his schoolwork, I still want him to answer the right questions, but it's not life-changing. I mean, it is. It is, but there's more parts of it. I shouldn't try to think of how to explain anything when I'm tired because that doesn't always translate. And I crossed my fingers a few minutes ago and now I can't remember what I needed to remember. That's how that's how I always do. For years, I've always crossed my fingers so that I'll remember something. But now, between thyroid brain, chemo brain, and mommy brain, I have no brain. So I'll have to. I said something that triggered something that I needed to look up or do, and now I can't remember what it is. But, so what do we think of all the little dots? Dots. I think we're about done on the dots. So I'm thinking that, let's see how this even works. This may not work. But I was just thinking that in the star it might be kind of cool to have. I have a silver, one of the dots is like silver, and I thought it might, and the white might make the, when it dries, it might make it shine a little bit more. So we'll see. Now we got edges all, but there you go. Okay, so that's what we're doing tonight. And in the background, where the actual tree part was, this is a very neon kind of green. Let's see if I can, and I mixed it with this dark green and this lighter green, and so hopefully it'll kind of shine through a little bit when everything is drying. So O for Owen, and then L and B. So there we go. All right, thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles toodles.